Are you preparing for a school counselor interview? If you are, and maybe you're wondering what questions might come your way, this video is for you. We compiled more than 26 questions and we're going to put it under the description down below. But also today we're going to review the top 12 that a principal, an assistant principal, or a panel might ask you. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit about the pool interviews in case that your district makes you pass the pool first and then you go with the principals. Stay tuned. My name is Crystal Santiago and I'm a school counselor. Please subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up. Hi, school counselors. One of the most important things that I wanted to say it is that make sure that you do you, be you, and be the best version of yourself. Because there's nothing worse in an interview that you present yourself. I know that you want the job, but maybe if you're not the right fit for the school, it can get a little bit more uncomfortable for both parts. So be yourself and do your best, pray for the best as well. The first question is what influenced you to be a school counselor? You can use a positive story that happened in your life, or you can use something that maybe is not that happy, but how you tweak it and help you become who you are right now. One of the possible answers is growing up, I had a lot of personal struggles and difficulties. However, I was lucky enough to have a school counselor who was incredibly supportive and helped me navigate those challenges. Or you can be like me, the opposite, that I didn't have any counselor. There was one, but she wasn't interested in anything at all related to students. It was just very awkward, but that was her role by that time of my life. And what inspired me was the opposite, for to help students who have somebody to talk to. And then you can talk a little bit about I went to psychology, or I went to education. I became a teacher. I did my degree in counseling. Question number two: what do you think is the most important characteristic of a school counselor? Tell us about how you embody those characteristics or these characteristics. Think about empathy, think about listening skills, think about communication skills. They want to know, in other words, who you are and why this is important to you, to them, and why you're the right candidate. One of the responses could be empathy is the most important characteristic of a school counselor. As a school counselor, it's crucial to be able to understand and relate the challenges and experiences of those of students in order to provide an effective support. I embody this characteristic by actively listening to the students, validating their feelings, and working to understand their unique perspectives or needs or circumstances. I have excellent communication and listening skills. Question number three could be we serve relatives diverse population. This won't happen in every school, but the way that we're seeing right now in the United States, there's people, it's a beautiful and amazing world full of different type of color skins, culturally diverse. We're different, and that's absolutely beautiful. So our populations are changing, so it's very important that you, if your school is going to be diverse, do your research before, research the demographics of your school, and be prepared for this type of questions. We serve relatively diverse population, both culturally and socioeconomically. Describe how your specific skills interests will help you connect with the students and the population. If you feel as a counselor that you don't have the heart for this type of population, maybe this should not be your school. My heart goes out, for example, for low income schools, but that's me. That's Crystal Santiago. But maybe you're not ready for that yet at this time of your life. So think about the pros and the cons and don't make them waste their time or waste yours. So one of the possible answers for this question is, as someone from a diverse background, which is kind of me, I naturally connect with students from a wide range of cultural, socioeconomic backgrounds. You can add a personal story into this in things that you experience as a human, okay? I have experience working with diverse populations through my previous counseling positions, which has helped me to culturally be sensitive, be culturally sensitive with the different approaches that I can use. You can also talk about if you speak any other languages. This is the time to share all of those. Question number four: on our Campus. The counselor is part of the campus leadership team. That's going to happen a lot. You're going to have a voice. They want to make sure that you are the right candidate for them, that you are going to invest in them, that you're going to be respectful, that you're going to honor confidentiality. So, this is very important. How do you see leadership as a part of the leadership around a specific? I'm sorry, I skipped one part. As part of the school counselor's role, describe when you provided leadership around a specific need, issue, or situation. Part of being a leader is also to be it's an integral role of the school counselor. That's the way I see it. As counselors, we have unique perspectives. You know the needs of the students, you know what they're going through, you know their circumstances, and you can use those to advocate for them, advocate for your program, advocate for all the things that we need to do. Okay. So I wanted to use that in a positive way. You can say, I noticed that how many students are struggling with stress, with anxiety, the academic pressures that they have if they connect with teachers or if they don't, and how you are taking a proactive approach and how you're willing to collaborate. The next question is about the school counseling program. As a school counselor, what are you responsible for fulfilling the four components of the ASCA model or the state model that you're using as a counselor? Okay. If you have one on one meetings like I have right now, describe the systems or methods you use to plan, and keep yourself organized to meet all the roles. This is something very important. Explain the importance of this. I use variety systems and methods to keep myself organized and ensure that all my roles as a school counselor are being met. For example, I use a digital calendar. You can talk about how you're going to share that with them. You can talk also about how you take time to dive in data, to take time to also program and schedule all the things for the school year, even though you know that things might change depending on what's going on. I also use a task manager app. You can talk to them a little bit about the Texas school model. Sorry, not the Texas, but maybe the ASCA. Additionally, regularly communicate with teachers and other staff to stay up to date. The students' needs, collaborate on ways that we can provide. You're going to participate of the PLCs. You're going to conduct your needs assessment. So explain to them how you're going to be organized and how you plan to do your guidance lessons and your system supports and all the things that you need to get done in your individual planning and how you're going to support the systems and your responsive services and all of that. The other question that could be is, what do you think is the most important characteristic of a school counselor? Tell us a little bit about yourself. This is your time to showcase who you are professionally, who you are as a person, and how you can contribute to this team. Scenarios. What would you do if? Do you suspect that one of your students is being abused? Follow the school protocols, but at the same time, I encourage you to follow any other system that the district might have in plan. Don't forget about child protective services. What is your plan? How you're going to keep up the evidence? How you're going to investigate the situation? Even though they say that we don't have to investigate, yes, you do. You need to gather some information, talk to the student, and tell the student that the student is going to be safe, and how you're going to take care of that, how you can take teachers' input, how you can take the nurses' input, how you're going to notify the administrators about all of this. The next one, what would you do if one of your students talks about wanting to kill himself or herself? What do you do? Number one, there's the Colombian suicidal screener and all of that. Okay, but your district probably has some procedures in place. Investigate what are the procedures in place. You could need to conduct an assessment briefly, kind of to see if it's low, medium, or high. You need to talk to the administrators. You need to talk to the nurse. You need to talk to also make a safety plan, identify how you're going to make sure that that student's safe. You need to contact the parents and have an emergency conference with the parent and provide resources. If it's for next day, for same day, if the student needs to be hospitalized, you need to have all those things in hand. Plus, follow the school or the district protocols. Communication is key. Communication with the teachers, with the parents, with the administrators at all time. What would you do if a student says that a teacher doesn't like him or her and requests a teacher change? Remember, administrators don't like to be changing students around. Also, it's not fair for the students, it's not fair for the teachers, it's not fair for anybody. How would you handle the situation? How would you interview the student? How would you talk to them? And what would you do? So think about all of that. But the first first response should not be, oh yes, I would change, I will make a change. That should not be the response. Think through it. What would you do if a student says that the teacher doesn't like him and he requests a change? We talk about it. And this question should say, what would you do with an irate parent? I don't know why did I leave the same question, but it's what would you do with an irate parent and how would you handle to de-escalate them? Professional growth as a new counselor, how would you assess your own performance? This is very important. But going back to the, look at the picture but don't look at the question right now. How do you stay calm, peaceful, and listen to all the parent needs to say, and how you're going to facilitate possible solutions for their problem, and talk to the administrators about what happened and why the parent was mad, and talk to the teacher and the student as well. Make sure that you take care of all the parts. For your professional growth, sometimes you can conduct a self-assessment. How would you identify or advocate for your profession? How do you help other counselors in the district? If you prepare like if you collaborate with other ones to take care of the needs of your counseling department and more. And what tools do they use? Usually the districts have a tool to assess what you're doing, but make sure that you keep all the evidence and all the proof of what you're doing. Professional growth. This is your part also to shine. What are you looking in your campus? What are you looking in a campus? So think about what would you like to see, what you would like to see. This is the time to showcase who you are also as a professional and advocate a little bit for you. For example, if you're in the middle of a crisis and you don't like to be disturbed because you feel like mental health is very important, this is the time to say something like that. If you feel like you need a little bit more respect from colleagues and you want them to follow the referral, if you want to say that you want a positive school climate, you can talk a little bit about that you would like to have time at least 30 minutes a day to read your emails. This is the time to say all the things you want. And then if you want to talk about professional development, also how you want the campus to provide opportunities for professional growth, including training or supervision or networking. I don't know, and how you want to be respected and respect others with diverse cultural backgrounds, the relationship that you want to have with your colleagues, and so much more. All the things that you want to say. Okay. I hope this video helped you a lot. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Bye.